your chances, past forgiveness, past the whole day's drink to new. Drown your sorrows until they learn to swim.
Brother Bones started it started kind of a while ago. Myself and Rob have been playing music together for many years. We grew up in the same place down in the southwest of England and played a lot of acoustic gigs in the local bars and clubs and all that kind of stuff, and got to a point where we wanted just to make a bit of a bigger sound, and ended up moving to London, and then sort of through the small community that is the music scene, met James and the other guys in the band who...
There's a lot of different influences throughout the band, and it's kind of some rock influences, more kind of older bands like Led Zeppelin or other bands like that, which we don't necessarily sound exactly like, but take a lot of music influences from. James, his guitar playing, a lot, old bluesier stuff like Stevie Ray Vaughan listens to, and Rich listens to a lot of folk music, and we kind of pull it all together somehow to create the music that we enjoy playing.
Now you're a ghost in this town and still so hard on the eyes. Saying this is what it is to be alive.
The third EP, as you said, To Be Alive, I suppose it's the third in a series of EPs in the fact that it's quite thematically similar. It's quite introspective, and even some of the quite personal stuff on there actually comes across more personal because it's in the first person, but it's actually about other situations. So again, that's kind of a running theme that we've had as a body of work from the beginning. It's kind of similar to previous EPs in the approach, and the fact that we recorded a lot of it live in the studio, but we've sort of taken lessons from previous recordings in the way that we've approached stuff and really tried to come up with some more unique sounds, especially with electric guitar.
I do.
From day one, we've always had the photographers and the filmographer. They're really close friends of ours, and they're obviously really passionate about the band and about their particular art as well. So they've been with us from day one, and they come out and they've always captured what we do when we're on tour and stuff like that. So the To Be Alive video was it was quite, obviously quite a simple concept in the fact it was our first trip to America as a band, so we was very excited. It was almost this time last year, and we played in it was Ride Festival in Telluride. So I guess, I mean, we get a lot of enjoyment watching that video back just because it really captures the spirits of that trip.
Oh, there's a long way to go, long way to go for you to let me down. And if you let me down, oh, there's a long way to go.
We're actually recording it in a couple of weeks. It's been a bit of a long time in coming. It's going to be mostly new stuff. So we're going to LA to record. I don't know, it's going to be quite spontaneous, I think. As much as we're putting a lot of work in the build up to it, I think the vibe in the studio is going to be quite creative and quite impulsive, rather than going in with a super clear-cut framework of exactly what it's going to sound like. The live part of what we do is obviously going to be the main, like the fundamental part of it. But in terms of sounds and stuff like that, I think we're just going to feel it out and see if we can get something that sounds impulsive and sounds. The creative process is different for every song. Sometimes I'll write something in the van that's very spontaneous, just because we're travelling around, and it'll almost be the finished product. Sometimes I'll spend ages on something. And the same with arrangement, different guitar parts and different drum grooves and different tempos, and sometimes the song will just end up at square one after we've been gigging it for, a whole tour. We'll just go, that's not right, let's do it again. And sometimes it's just the first time we play it together. There's a song on our latest live EP, which will be on the album, called If I Belong, and that was just a spontaneous jam in a rehearsal room. And everything that everybody played at that particular time ended up being how the song is. It's not necessarily as much like how many people you're playing to or where you might be playing. It's just same with the songwriting process. Every gig has that spontaneity, and every gig's different. And sometimes some of the best gigs we ever played, musically and in terms of having the most fun and the best audience reaction, have been some of the weirdest and smallest or emptiest gigs we've ever played. Yeah, it's the most important thing for us, really, and that's where the songs find their own life. I think where they really sort of come to life, and you find a lot out about a song in the live arena, because it's a very immediate response from people, and it's also the biggest part of our lives. We spend most of our time on the road, so if we didn't love it and if it wasn't the most important thing, we'd be very unhappy people. Hi, we're Brother and Bones with Televisionette. See you soon.